It was her first week as an intern at one of the most prestigious multinational firms in the city. A small-town girl with big dreams and a heart full of nerves, Alina had worked tirelessly to get to this moment. She had spent years studying, sacrificing weekends, and saying no to distractions in hopes of one day stepping into the very building she was now walking through every morning. But despite all that preparation, nothing had prepared her for how intimidating the real world would feel. Towering glass walls, sharply dressed professionals moving with precision, and a pace that felt impossible to keep up with, all of it overwhelmed her. The firm was hosting a corporate gala to celebrate a record-breaking quarter. It was a glamorous event with everyone from junior associates to top executives in attendance. Alina received the invitation by mistake. Interns typically weren't included, but her name had somehow been added to the guest list. She had planned to quietly decline, but her supervisor encouraged her to go, saying it would be a learning experience. With no dress fancy enough in her wardrobe, she borrowed a simple black gown from her cousin and arrived at the event with trembling hands and a pounding heart. When she entered the ballroom, her anxiety soared. Waiters carrying silver trays floated between elegant clusters of professionals. Chandeliers bathed the room in a golden glow, and music hummed gently in the background. Alina clutched her clutch purse tightly, unsure of where to go or who to talk to. She scanned the room for a familiar face, but everyone looked so self-assured and important. Not wanting to stand awkwardly by the door, she spotted an empty chair at a table near the front and quickly made her way to it. What Alina didn't realize was that she had just sat at the VIP table, reserved for top-level executives, board members, and the CEO himself. She assumed it was just a quiet table that hadn't filled up yet. She placed her purse down, took a sip of water, and tried to calm her nerves. The last thing she wanted was to call attention to herself. As she settled in, a man in a tailored navy suit took the seat beside her. He was older, maybe in his late 40s, with kind but tired eyes and a quiet confidence. Alina didn't recognize him, which wasn't surprising since she had yet to meet most people at the company. She offered him a polite smile, which he returned with a slight nod. A few minutes into dinner, she noticed a group of employees at a neighboring table whispering and pointing subtly in her direction. Feeling suddenly exposed, she leaned closer to the man beside her and whispered nervously, "Do you know why everyone's staring?" The man chuckled softly, "Maybe you sat somewhere unexpected." Alina frowned. "Well, that's just great. I already feel like I don't belong. And now I've probably made a fool of myself. Typical of this whole week, honestly. First I mixed up a meeting invite, then I tripped in front of the finance director, and today I emailed the wrong report to the wrong department." The man laughed gently. "That sounds like a rough week. You have no idea," she sighed. "And to top it all off, I got a glimpse of the CEO today. What a mystery man. Everyone walks on eggshells when he's around. I mean, no offense, but I don't get why everyone's so intimidated. He's probably just another overpaid executive who never notices the little people." There was a pause. A long one. Alina looked over and saw the man raise his eyebrow with a half smile. Her stomach sank. Something about his expression told her she had just said something very, very wrong. "You do realize," he said calmly, "you're talking about me." Alina froze. The air was sucked out of her lungs. No way," she stammered, her voice barely audible. "You're the CEO." He gave a small nod, amused but not unkind. "I'm Daniel Hayes, CEO of the firm." Alina wanted the floor to open up and swallow her whole. She was sure this would be her last night with the company. Her face turned crimson. I'm so sorry, I didn't know, I shouldn't have." He held up a hand gently. "Relax. It's refreshing, actually. People usually just nod and smile or try to impress me. You're the first person to be that honest." She blinked, unsure if she was being humored or reprimanded. "So, you're not mad?" "Not at all," he replied. "If anything, I appreciate the perspective. You're right, sometimes people are intimidated, and maybe that's on me to fix." Alina slowly exhaled, the tightness in her chest easing a little. "Well, in that case, I guess I should thank you for not firing me on the spot." Daniel laughed again. "Consider your honesty a breath of fresh air." As the night went on, the two continued to talk. Daniel asked her about her background, her dreams, and why she chose to intern at the company. Alina, still shy but warming up, spoke about her upbringing, her late mother who inspired her work ethic, and how she wanted to one day lead a project that made a difference. Daniel listened carefully, genuinely interested, occasionally offering advice or insights from his own journey. For the first time since joining the company, Alina felt seen, not as a disposable intern but as someone who mattered. When the event ended, Daniel stood up and offered his hand. "Let's make a deal," he said. "You keep being honest, and I'll keep trying to be the kind of CEO worth working for." She shook his hand, still in disbelief. "Deal." The next morning, Alina returned to the office expecting whispers and awkward glances. But instead, she found an email in her inbox. It was from Daniel. Subject: "Our chat last night. Alina, it was a pleasure speaking with you at the gala. Your sincerity and perspective reminded me why we do what we do. I've asked HR to involve you in an upcoming innovation project where your voice will truly matter. I hope you'll accept. Looking forward to working with you. Daniel Hayes." Alina stared at the screen in shock. She couldn't believe it. The man she had unknowingly criticized, the most powerful person in the building, had not only listened but chosen to uplift her. That small mistake, that embarrassing slip, had become the catalyst for an unexpected opportunity. Over the next few months, Alina became one of the most promising interns at the company. She contributed meaningfully to the project, earning respect and recognition. But more than that, she carried a lesson with her: never underestimate the power of authenticity. Sometimes, the tables we're scared to sit at are the very ones where we're meant to shine. And sometimes, the people we fear the most are the ones waiting to hear our voices. And so, the shy intern who accidentally sat at the VIP table didn't just survive the night, she changed the course of her life. Forever.